We're going to try to do a tutorial here for you with my awesome friend Jerry Bennett's artwork. I know him personally and I'll ask him for forgiveness later, but I'm sure he's going to appreciate that we used his art as an example in this demonstration for Photoshop. He is local, he is awesome, and he also works for Marvel. So look up Jerry Bennett. He's pretty cool. He does a lot of inking. Couple of the things that we're going to do, and I've already made this somewhat of a large photo so that I could explain how you want to downsize. Photoshop, File. Up here you have several different drop-down bars. The ones we are really looking for this particular downsizing is we're going to back up to Image, and we're looking for image size. As you scroll down for image size, a pop-up window is going to come up, and you have pixels, you have inches, we have resolution. Resolution is very important. Right now, this is a very large resolution. We want to change our settings for a print setting. We want this to be actually a little smaller. So with it becoming 350, and if I change this to 7, I get 7 by 11. And for your sizes, you want a 7 by 7. And this is not a rectangle image, not a square image, but a rectangle image. So it has to stay 7 by 11 for this demonstration. I can click OK. Now, if I wanted to crop it, and I can crop this down, and you're noticing all these interesting things happening. But I don't want to cut Jerry's name off. We're going to leave it to this size. You'll change it to 7 by 7 because when you photograph it, it's going to be square. So image size. And it'll be 7 by 7 versus 7 by 11. Make sure that your constrained proportions are on, otherwise you'll lose your proportions. It'll become distorted. File, Save As. I've asked you folks to label it as avatar dot last name, and I'll put mine in as Wimmer .j, and this is just regular JPEG. It's going to be on my desktop because I can upload it later. Hit save. So now I have that image. When you're ready to downsize, File, Image Size. Now I've asked you to keep it at its original size, but change your pixels resolution per square inch to 120. Did that through the resolution, and notice this size didn't change, and I hit OK. It shrinks it. That's not the actual size, because down here in the left-hand corner, this is actually only 12.5% of the image. So I can zoom in a little bit. I'm going to hit File, Save As, and this one is the smaller one. So after J, I'm going to put .sm, and that's just the small file. So now I can hit OK, and now I've got two files. Let's close this one, and let's reopen the large one again. So open recent. I'm going to open up the big one. And you're noticing there's some yellowing and there's some black and white. So for digital files, you can actually do some color correcting in your white balance and your blacks, and you can play around with your image adjustments, brightness, levels, etc. If I go to levels right off the bat, and I'm going to move this over so we can see, pick up the black eyedropper tool and click on where you know it's going to be black. Pick up the white eyedropper tool and pick up over there where it's going to be white. Now we get a really awesome black and white, and it looks like we can fix here also, and now it's really black and white, totally black and white. There are some fuzzy areas here, and that comes from photo quality, and I'm sure Jerry just snapped this with his camera. You folks will have a better camera with your photography. I'm going to come over, and we're going to dodge a little of this area, not the shadows, but the highlights, and I can actually make that a little brighter down in that corner anyway. So now I'm really getting some brights. And then I'll come over, I'll hold down this funny looking eyedropper tool, and I'll hit burn, and for the shadows I can get darker darks. And now I'm getting very, very clear line art. Hit File, Save. And if you recall, this was the big one. Well, I don't want to redo all that for the small one, so I'll resize it. I'll hit OK. I'll hit File, Save As. And this one's the small one. And that's going to ask me to replace it. I'm going to say yes. Hit OK. And you're done for that purpose. So right now I've got, here's the original file. It's just going to open them all up. Here we go. So we have a big file, the original file, and then a smaller file. And file size will change with the size changes as those are coming in. So that's a quick snapshot of the tutorial. You can pause and play this over and over and over. The more you tweak your settings and work with some of the aspects of image adjust, dodge, and burn, you can really fine-tune your black and white art, and it looks a lot stronger for reproduction. There are some other tips and tricks I can take you into Photoshop, but we're just going to cover those two right now. It was levels with an eyedropper tool, and it was dodge and burning for some of the line art, and then how to file, save, resize for your 350 DPI and your 120 DPI. And then keep those in your Dropbox folder. You're going to upload the small one to Facebook. And when I ask you for the big one, you'll give me the big one should it seem ready for a competition. That's it for this one. Enjoy. Good luck.